We are done with the book work. Your last book assignment, lesson 13, is due tonight by 11 p.m. And we're moving on to our creative projects. This is a really fun part of the semester. I love how many creative projects you have in this class. I'm actually going to give you 2 of them tonight. So let's dive in to our creative projects. Let me just find the right place to be. Swore I had. Okay, what was I gonna do? Oh wait, it might be over here. Okay. So if you go into your course, which I'm going to hop into right now, and I'm in the student preview, so this should look like what you see. And you scroll down, you'll see right beneath your last lesson are the creative projects. And tonight I'm going to give you the highway billboard and the ad busters assignments. So let's jump into those. I actually have little lectures for each assignment. And let's start with the highway billboard. Because, since you are designing a highway billboard, it's a good time to learn about best practices, why billboard design is important, all that good stuff. And my slideshows also include student work. Okay, let's get started. So first I'm going to start with your assignment. All of this is in Blackboard. We'll start with a little background info. Begin thinking about billboard ads that you have seen recently or in the past. Look at examples of possible designs, but keep in mind that all the work that you create for this project will have to be your own original work. Use the layers panel to build the design of your billboard ad. Be sure to consider the outside conditions of the billboard and the lighting that the sun is providing on the billboard itself. So here's the provided file that you'll use, and you can see the sun is lighting down upon it. Your ad design needs to be a natural part of the billboard. So consider any modifications that you'll need to make to the original ad you create in Photoshop in relation to the actual billboard it will be placed on. So think of perspective, angle, all that. If you're using an image or using the rounded rectangle tool to draw a rectangle filled with color, you'll want to use edit, transform, and then skew to adjust the angles in all 4 corners to get it to fit the perspective of the white background of the billboard. Text should also be skewed to fit the perspective of the billboard. The lens flare filter, if you go filter, render lens flare, can add a nice effect to your billboard if you feel it's appropriate for your design. Masking the sky background to include a different background or other modifications or additions to the original billboard is optional, and you're going to see some examples of students who have done so. Make sure to check your layers panel for empty layers that need to be deleted and rename generic layers before your final save. You are going to turn in your PSD file so that I can see your work, see your layers. In Blackboard, you have the empty underscore billboard.jpg. It looks like this right here, and that's what you're going to be putting your billboard on. You will create one file, and it should contain the original PSD file with all the layers and the layer effects. Don't flatten or merge visible. And there is a zip folder on Blackboard if you want to look at the student examples there, but they're also included in my lecture. You'll be submitting the billboard.psd, and I'll be looking at the subject matter of your billboard, like would you naturally see it appear on a billboard? Are you advertising a business? Is it a public service announcement? Those are great too. And is the billboard balanced with text and images and the use of white space? Would your billboard design be legible, understandable by someone driving on a highway? And remember, do not flatten or merge visible. So before I show you student examples, let's explore how important billboards are in the first place, right? So let's explore how to use these classic advertising spaces that are called billboards to impact a large audience and send a strong message. And I did include a link to my slideshow, and you'll see there are links that you can click out and explore even more information if you want to. So why do billboard ads matter? If you've been in a car or on the bus, you've seen a billboard, right? These large physical ads are seen by millions of commuters every day. Billboards live in high traffic areas such as highways and large intersections, as well as near businesses that want to attract traffic. Because of their size, they're hard to miss. More than 70% of people consciously look at billboard advertisements, and more than 1/3 report looking at outdoor advertisements. Most of the time, they pass one. While digital ads are prevalent due to the increased time people spend with screens, print ad campaigns remain relevant wherever physical customers are present. They always will. In the digital world, brands are consistently competing for attention and clicks. On the road, drivers and commuters have fewer distractions. This makes billboards even more important and impactful. A busy highway or intersection can garner thousands of impressions every day. Commuters stuck in traffic during rush hour have more time to stare at billboard ads, and people traveling along the same roads daily get constant exposure to the same ad. And advertising experts say you have to see the ad over and over and over again for it to lead to a purchase. Industries that remain hyper-local and cater to traditional audiences also prefer the tangible and concrete qualities of billboard advertising. Roads are accessible to everyone, even to crowds who don't frequent the internet or watch television. So ads that appear there can make a big impact. But we have to think about billboards for a new generation, and that means digital billboards. So digital billboards combine the old and the new. Physical printed billboard ads show only one advertisement for weeks at a time, whereas a digital billboard shares real estate with multiple advertisers. They quickly cycle through multiple digital billboard designs and are commonly found near slower traffic, where pedestrians or drivers can see a variety of ads in one place. Now, you, of course, are making a printed billboard. You don't have to worry about making multiple ads for an electronic billboard. Aren't you grateful? But the frequency and variety of advertisements on digital billboards can also change overnight. Digital signage is flexible to adapt to current events and push sales in specific directions at the click of a button. They're also more sustainable because we don't have to print out these great big billboards. So there's less waste. Digital signage is flexible to adapt to current events. And in addition, digital billboard designs can include videos, countdown timers, live traffic or weather displays, and other rotating messages that prompt pedestrians to stop and admire them. The best billboard designs are creative and attention-grabbing. They get the message across, even though they're only viewed for a moment. The message will vary depending on the billboard's advertisement's placement. People stopped at a red light have more time to read an ad than people speeding past you on a highway. Your graphic design should factor in the location and complexity of the message. And these are the things that you should keep in mind as you design. First, explore contrast and topography. Help your billboard stand out by contrasting the colors of the font, image, and background. Because they're outdoors, billboards also need to stand out from surrounding buildings and nature, so they remain visible in different types of weather and lighting. The topography and specific fonts you use for billboard designs should be large enough to read from any viewing distance and contrast well with the background image. A bold sans serif typeface that reflects your brand's identity and maximizes contrast is a good choice. Or search in font families that your brand already uses and pick a bold or black variation. Use fonts that you can run large enough so that viewers don't need to walk or drive closer to make out the details. When merging all the elements together, opt for simple design that minimizes clutter. A white font on a colorful background, for example, creates a vibrancy that draws in the eye. For organizations that want to preserve a sophisticated brand identity, but are well known for thin cursive fonts, it's important to prioritize readability. Just find a bolder font that works with your brand guidelines, make the logo larger, or use a background image to capture your brand aesthetic. People should drive away knowing the ad was for your brand. Use high quality imagery. First and foremost, images and photos in billboard designs should be high resolution. Whether you're working with digital or print billboard designs, you don't want pixelation to affect the impact you're trying to make. While many image file formats use raster files that pixelate if you enlarge them beyond their original dimensions, you can use Adobe Illustrator to create large scale artwork in vector art format that will look crisp on any billboard ad size. You can also edit and crop your image or make color corrections to ensure it looks good on your billboard canvas. Adobe Fonts and Adobe Stock have a wide variety of premium text and stock image options that you can edit and scale up for billboard campaigns and any type of large signage. Make sure your billboards are going to look sharp from any distance. Optimize your billboard design for locations high up and far away from pedestrians and drivers. Use the entire height and length of a highway billboard. Place text in creative ways to tell a story with a dramatic image. For a witty and larger than life effect, extend photos beyond the standard billboard rectangle with extra panels. And I'm going to show you some examples where students have done that. Digital billboard designs don't need much help to stand out because they receive bright lighting that automatically sets them apart from their surroundings. People view large posters at bus stops and they see wraps on the sides of the buses and trucks closer up from an angle. So consider altering your billboard design for different types of outdoor advertising. And if you use vector art, it'll help you repurpose it for your different sizes more easily. Like a giant business card or flyer, the copy on a billboard ad should clearly reflect the company or brand identity and include a call to action. With your billboards, it could be a real business, it could be a fake business, it could be a public service announcement, it could be, basically whatever you want. Whether it's to promote a specific product or service, the writing should be concise and memorable. So you have to come up with the concept, the writing, and everything. So here are some tips to keep in mind when you're creating your billboard ad. Use a short tagline. So both of these here, send it live and keeps backseat drivers busy. Big, bold, short taglines. Avoid adding any fine print that could be distracting or unreadable. Be family friendly. Your billboard is visible to all the commuters, no matter what their ages are. So make appropriate content for audience of all ages. Include contact information. Now that's not necessary in this case. You do not have to include contact information, but if you were creating a billboard, you might want to add a website or address or something that consumers can refer to for more information. Again, not required for this assignment. Localize the message. So tailor your advertisement to the specific city, state, or area where the billboard is located. Add a personal touch or shout out to a city to show customers that the brand aligns with what they already love. Or stand out by breaking the rules, right? Sometimes going against expectation sticks with an audience more, and a billboard that just features a website and logo may drive curiosity with its simplicity. So now let's look at some student examples. This is a billboard made for a concert. Here we see Fender, and this is one of those cutouts like the banana that popped off of the billboard that we see here. This is a guitar player cutout. Very nice. Here we see a fallout. There's been nuclear war, you can tell, and for all your nuclear war needs. So this student got really creative. Remember, you have to create everything in your billboard. So I'm sure this was a lot of work. Here's Join the Galactic Empire, and I think it's on Tatooine, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yep.
Very cool. Don't fiddle with paper, bank online, nationalbank.com. Really nice, clean, fiddle pun. I like puns. Bug spray is greater than hand sanitizer. GoCamping.com. So kind of an advertisement to get out, get outdoors. Here we see an ad for Ted's. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy a motorcycle, and that's real close. We see the phone number and directions on how to get there, the nice logo, and the nice cutout of the motorcycle. I believe this is a video game, Destiny 2, Forsaken. So it's your destiny to play. And again, it's put in the landscape of the game. Very creative, nice textures. And then we see one for Watts Farm where food comes fresh. And they put it in a nice field. So the cows kind of look right at home. So don't forget, all your work will be submitted via Blackboard, and it's due for peer review Sunday night, November 5th by 11 p.m. So we'll actually hold a peer review in class on November 5th. That's next Monday. So your billboard is due a week from today on Sunday night so that it's turned in before class so we can do the peer review. Not submitting a draft for peer review will hurt your grade. Get your drafts in. They don't have to be complete. We can talk them out. Just turn in some sort of draft before you turn in the final, and the final assignment is due before your final conference. Any questions about the billboard assignment?
Is there anything after the billboard assignment? Or
Yeah, you've got lots of creative projects. So I'm gonna give you a second creative project tonight. And you'll have others throughout as we wrap up the semester. Good question. Any other questions? Again, everything you need. Oh yeah, go ahead.
You want us to strictly use it on Photoshop?
Yes, but you can create assets in other programs and then bring them into Photoshop. Your final file should be a Photoshop file.
Okay,
So like with the Fallout one, I'm pretty sure they drew the Fallout character in Illustrator and then brought it into Photoshop. That'd be a good example. So if you need, you can make the logo in Illustrator, or you can make it in Photoshop or any other programs. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
But the final billboard should be done in Illustrator or in Photoshop. And I want to see your layers. Great question. Any other questions? I am so excited to see your billboards, y'all. Like I said, have something submitted by Sunday night at 11 p.m. Got 7 days. And then we will do the peer review in class, and then you'll have more time to polish those up before your final conferences. Now, if I hop back, there we go. So that's right here. If you click on Highway Billboard, this is the slideshow that I just went through. And then you click on your assignment. The due date is for the peer review. I always set my due dates as the peer review due date. And you will be expected to polish up and improve on your billboard in some way, unless it's perfect, and whose is perfect, right? But sometimes I say, I love it, I wouldn't change a thing, but otherwise you should consider feedback and polish up your work. Okay, let's look at that Ad Busters fun assignment. Glad we're still doing this. This was an assignment. I did the billboard assignment and I did the Ad Busters assignment many moons ago. And this one's super fun. You're going to create a spoof ad. So a parody ad, right? Let's check out the details. So a little background info. Begin thinking about possible ideas that you'd like to do for your ad. We're going to look at some examples of spoofed ads, and you can also Google spoof ads or Ad Buster ads. But again, keep in mind, all the work, ideas, logos, text, etc., that you will create for this project will be your own original work. It must be 8.5 by 11, so that's a full page magazine ad size, 300 pixels per inch. Use 1/4 margin guides to keep your text from crowding the edges. Make sure your rulers are also set to inches. You'll be responsible for coming up with your own original idea. Keep it clean, no questionable topics or materials, and keep the background images clean as well. You will also need to create your own logos. So for this one, you need to create a logo. This includes logos that you'll need to recreate as a part of your project and any text content you will need. Use the layers panel to build the design of your ad. Check your layers panel for empty layers that need to be deleted and rename generic layers before your final save. You will be submitting adbusters.psd. So again, you're going to submit that PSD, that native Photoshop file. And I'll be critiquing based on your subject matter, and I'll look at your design choices. Does your background images have contrast from the text on the layers above it? Did you create your own logo? Did you have to create any other logos as a part of the composite? I'm looking for the message your ad sends, as well as how the elements of your design flow together. Again, do not flatten or merge visibles. I want to see all those layers in your PSD file. First off, what is Adbusters? Adbusters is a global collective of poets, punks, and philosophers that implement radical design and media strategies to shake up complacent consumerists via spoofed ads. That is their definition. And if you click here, you can go and look at their website. I've chosen some of the ads that I thought were interesting to show you right here. Now this would be a print ad. You're designing a magazine print ad. So let's talk about print ad best practices, right? Print ads have value in a digital world. So I want to inspire you to make stunning print ads. And again, anytime it's underlined, this is a link that you can click on and learn more. So how do we harness this powerful tool of print advertising? Believe it or not all advertisements exist on a screen, even today. Print ad campaigns are an effective way to build brand awareness, especially in a world where it's harder than ever to differentiate your brand. We get all this information. It's hard for us to even pay attention to it all. So your ad should stand out, be eye-catching, be remarkable. Print ads can help you refresh your brand in the eyes of consumers by bringing it into the physical world and ensuring that your customers remember you as a trustworthy resource with magazine ads, posters, flyers, and billboards. So we're doing 2 print ad projects. Why does print advertising matter? In a world full of digital content, the concise and eye-catching nature of the copy and design in print ads offer a level of clarity, intrigue, and memorability unmatched by digital advertising. Ad recall is 2.6 times higher when an ad is in print than when it's viewed digitally. The clarity of the ad to the consumer is increased by nearly the same factor as well. In addition, consumers are nearly 3 times as likely to label a print ad interesting as opposed to a digital one. Before you design your print ads, print ad campaigns are often the work of an ad agency, but they can be handled by your in-house creative team with the right tools and planning, and by you, all by yourself. First, decide how your print ads will fit into the larger picture of your marketing strategy. You know that you're making a spoof ad. I've kind of given some of this to you. If you were going to create a professional ad, this would be some great advice. Think about how you could reach your target audience. Usually a creative director, whether on your team or an outside agency, can help put forward concepts that make sense within your company's larger visual identity and personality. You are the creative director for this project. I've given you the assignment. You've got your creative brief, and you're going to make this ad. A clear brand identity for your business and a brand kit will ensure internal teams or hired agencies follow your brand guidelines when designing print ads. What are the components of a print advertisement? The basic building blocks of a creative ad include a background image or illustrations or graphics, your business name and logo, any relevant contact information, body copy, a tagline, and a strong call to action. One app that's a great choice for creating multiple layouts with different contents and sizes is, of course, Adobe InDesign. You are, however, going to be using Photoshop to complete your assignment. But again, if you were doing this professionally, InDesign would be a really great option and probably best practices. Because it allows you to adapt your designs to be used in various locations. But like I said, since this is a Photoshop class, you'll be designing your ads in Photoshop. There are many common types of print ads. Newspapers, magazines are among the most common and familiar types of print advertising. Almost everyone has seen ads in this form, so the bar can be high for making these stand out. Many people have learned to ignore ads. However, that challenge can help you take your advertising to the next level. People spend far more time reading a publication than they do looking at a single web page, and that means that these ads have a much greater chance of being remembered. Consider how to take advantage of the longer attention that a print ad will receive. Mailers and brochures are also a common form of advertising, and they face stiff challenges as well, as people often throw these out as junk mail. However, the forms that these print ads can take are often more flexible and unique. Find ways to stand out and make an impact. The more valuable and personal you make your mailers, the less likely they're going to go into the recycling bin. And finally, there's the poster, one of the oldest forms of print advertising. Whether it's a paste up on a wall or a flyer in a shop window, this form offers the most opportunities for creative exploration. And with tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, it's so easy to create eye-catching visual print ads. Print ads that draw the eye of a passerby and that make a great impression, and even better, make them remarkable so people talk about them, and then they're basically advertising for you. What are some of the best practices for print ad design? The more creative your print ads are, the more impact they'll have. But it's not enough to aim for uniqueness alone. The best print ads also make it easy for the viewer to understand the offer and how they can take action on that offer. So here are some recommendations what to consider before designing your first series of print ads, your first professional series, and also think these go good for your assignment as well. So first, draw the eye. Think of visual element or headline that will capture the audience's attention and leave a lasting impression. Offer value. Present a benefit to the reader or pique their interest with a piece of information that they didn't know before. Show proof. If you can, offer some proof points to the customer about the value you provide. Think of statistics or testimonials. Highlight why you're different. Tell readers why they should use your service instead of a competitor's. What is your key differentiator? And motivate action. Give your audience a nudge toward taking action by providing a reason to act right away, like a limited time offer or a free trial. Some other techniques to explore. Print ads are an opportunity to flex your design and copywriting skills. They provide unique constraints and perimeters for designers and copywriters, which make a print ad an opportunity to explore new techniques and methods. Make sure to keep your copy concise. Print ad layouts often have exacting requirements for copy. This means that you have to be on top of your game when it comes to writing clear, punchy, authoritative brand copy. Choose powerful verbs that put forth action and purpose, and avoid using passive voice. Copy is just as important as design and advertising, so don't forget that. Think about spacing. The value of white space and negative space cannot be undersold. Despite the name, white space does not necessarily have to be white. The term refers to the space between design elements. When creating a print ad, think about the dimensions you're working within, 8.5 by 11, and experiment with keeping things open and clear. An ad that's too busy can lose impact. But with proper spacing, it can draw a viewer in and help them engage with your visuals and your message. Also, watch the trends. Keep an eye on the latest design trends. For example, the designs trends in stock imagery to find inspiration. Explore new techniques and methods, types of copy, uses of various design styles, and more. Great ideas often spring from rich content. Now, you are allowed to use some Adobe stock, but you have to let me know if you do that when you submit your assignment. Free, so don't go out there and buy anything. So now let's look at some examples of student work. So here's a magazine cover, a magazine about indulgence and gluttony. It's called Greedy. Here we see the new social media site, Everyone is Creepy, where you can stalk anyone to search their name and you'll find anyone, seriously.
I think I have several questions for that student.
I like that. Why do I need to provide my SSN? Yeah, this is pretty funny. Goodbye, productivity. So see, they're cute. Our profits are up. Why aren't you? So hum along. You only need it to live. Shell, clean energy, right in your own backyard. Do you believe they're being sarcastic? Here we see knees and toes, leg and foot treatment. It's also a shampoo and a moisturizer. Provides smooth texture and a nice smell. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Photoshop. Tiffany and Company, where rocks outshine his mistakes. Eerie, she's always listening.
What the hell kind of assignments are these?
It's a very clever. This is what you're doing. You're creating a parody ad. Then we have advanced anti-aging night cream guaranteed to eliminate wrinkles overnight. And then we have before and after. Pretty cute.
I feel like half of these are stabs at something.
Well, it's a spoof, so it's a parody. So yeah, usually parodies are poking fun or calling attention to irony or hypocrisy in some way or another. So this you have a little more time for. All work will be submitted via Blackboard for peer review by Sunday night, November 12th. So 2 weeks to work on it. We'll have the peer review in class on November 13th. Don't forget, not submitting a draft for peer review will hurt your final grade. The final assignment is due before your final conference. Any questions about your Ad Busters assignment? Have fun, be creative. Real quick, I just want to show you how you can use Adobe stock imagery. So if you go up here, you've got your tabs on the side, click stock and marketplace, make sure you choose free. And then if maybe you're doing an ad on mushrooms. I love to draw mushrooms. So let's see what they got. It's going to pop open in a browser window and that's fine. And again, as long as you have the free thing on, you can license any of these for free. And you can use Adobe stock imagery in your work. Just let me know when you submit your assignment, whether or not it's all original or you use Adobe stock imagery. And also go out and take pictures of mushrooms if you want. But these even include vector art, so drawings, and roster art as photos. Okay, no questions? Everybody's cool? They know exactly what to do? Okay, I believe you. That's all I got for you tonight. Hopefully you'll take the rest of the class time to work on your assignments. If you don't have any questions or need any help, you're free to go. Class is dismissed.
Have a good night.
You too.
So